Hey guys, it's Danny. Okay, have you ever had that orchid that you potted in a medium you thought you would like, and then after a while think to yourself, this was a big mistake? Well, that's the case with my Solagene usitana here. I would have liked this orchid to have the smaller seramis rather than the bigger chunks. This orchid really enjoys moisture, absolutely hates to dry out completely, as you can see by the old pseudobulb. Problem is, she's already established, and if I disturb her now, particularly because I have a clay pot, there is a chance this orchid will stale, and I really don't want to go through that again. So what we're gonna do today is actually repot it, change the medium actually, without unpotting the orchid, without removing it from the pot. And this is an idea suggested by my viewers, but I do remember I did something similar in the past with bark and sphagnum moss. So I'll tell you a bit about that as well, because seramis is a little different, and I think it's just a great idea for a video. Let's get to it. So what we want to do is not unpot this orchid, so I will not remove it from the pot. What I will do is hold the orchid as stable as I can, tip the pot, and actually dump out as much of the medium as I can. So let's take a look. What happened was I used too much leca and the bigger seramis, and this orchid didn't like it. Some of the roots really didn't grow so well, however, others are really attached to the pot. That's a good thing, but it's inconsistent. As you can see, not all the pieces of medium are out. I'm not looking to completely change the medium, I'm just looking to add more water retentive medium. Now with seramis and leca, things are pretty easy. Let's talk a little bit about bark and sphagnum moss, because that's a more popular medium to grow orchids in. Okay, so let's presume that the seramis and leca is actually bark, and I'm looking to maintain my orchid more moist by adding some sphagnum moss. So what I would do is follow the same procedure, tip the pot over and make the bark fall out of the pot. And mind you, I would not pre-soak bark, because it's easier for the bark to fall out of the pot if it's dry. When I remove the desired quantity, I would soak my sphagnum moss prior to doing this, and let's imagine that synthic is actually moss, and I would get myself a pair of tweezers like these. Long tweezers is what you need. And at this point, I would just go ahead and place my moss inside around the roots wherever I think it is good to have it. Then go ahead and place some bark chips as well, so I don't end up with a moss ball that is compacted, and pretty much that's it. Now scenario 2, you have an orchid in sphagnum moss and you want to add some bark to it to make it more airy. Now with moss you cannot really tip it over. What I would do is pre-soak the pot very well to get the moss wet, and then I would use the tweezers once again and start to remove the moss around the root system. And when I have enough room, I can go ahead and insert the bark pieces, top it off with moss, and we're done. Now mind you, this does not replace repotting due to old and decomposed medium. This is more of a solution for a recent repot that you could have done better and with pretty fresh medium. As for my case, I will just replace the larger seramis and leca with small seramis, no leca needed. Now things would be much easier if the seramis were dry, but I have no clean dry seramis at the moment, so I'm just gonna use it wet. And what we'll do is just start adding seramis. Now because the seramis is wet, it is a very good idea to actually tap the pot. If you have a plastic pot, you can even squeeze it a little bit, although you need to be careful not to detach the roots already attached to the sides of the pot. But just tapping it a little bit will make the seramis just go down. And here's the end result. The orchid did not move from its place. I did not disturb the roots. I just simply switched most of the medium, and I think she will be much happier now. Alrighty, so that's enough for today. And by the way, I changed my intro, but also the outro. So if you watch this video till the end, you'll see a new outro. And what will happen is every day the intro and outro will be slightly different. So let me know in a comment below what you think about it. Do you like it better than the older one? Which, by the way, I got really bored of. So yeah, thanks for joining, and I'll see you all next time. Bye! Let me show you what I just did. She's beautiful, right? Well, take a look what happened to the pollen. Of course I bumped into it, and of course I managed to remove the pollen. So this flower will drop very, very fast. Good job, Danny. Good job. Proud of you.